Today's topic of conversation, we're talking about Arc Raiders. And there's a couple, let's say, things that I want to put in. I have about 80 hours into the game. I've been playing it for roughly 3 weeks. So, we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to put my input into what these 3 articles are talking about. So, let's go. First one's first, let me move my big head back over here because we aren't streaming right now. Is the aggression-based matchmaking system confirmed by the devs? I think this is total bullshit. I say that because I play a lot of PvE. I don't really PvP until I get attacked. In all seriousness, I do not believe anything they're saying with the aggression-based matchmaking system. And I say that especially since yesterday. This week, now mind you, I'm filming this on January 20th. Yesterday I was actually talking with a raider while I was in the middle of a raid. We were topside on Stella, and the guy goes, "Hey man, you're friendly?" I said, "Yeah." He comes out with a power cell to open a door, and he's like, "Man," he goes, "I think they changed a lot of things with this update." And I 100% agreed with him because I noticed yesterday that on January 19th, 2026, that the amount of loot, like, you could potentially get on the map, it seems like it's gone down. Like, significantly. On top of that, every match I load into is just PvP skirmish after skirmish after skirmish. It shouldn't be that way because I want to play the game. I want to help people. I want to work together to, take down these larger arcs like the Monarchs and fill in the blanks. All seriousness, I feel big streamers, don't get me wrong, I love watching the Peanut, I love watching Ninja, Nick Mercs, Tim Tabman, fill in the blank of big streamer, because guess what? They're playing the game. It's really killing the vibes of the game. And I only say that due to the fact that I want to go in and I want to accomplish the missions. I want to go in, accomplish taking down Monarchs, or even the Emperor when he comes in, and you can't fucking do that because you got some fucking rat behind you shooting you in the back, whether you're trying to exfil because you got some really good fucking loot, or you're trying to, fight the Monarch or whatever big individual it is, and you can't because you got the rats behind you shooting you because they're like, he might have some good loot. Don't get me wrong, I don't think PvP should be removed from the game because it does add the tension to the game, but it is very infuriating to me at, supposed this article that the Arc Raiders devs have confirmed that it's aggression-based matchmaking. I call bullshit. Definitely isn't, because like I said, since yesterday, it's just been hyper-aggressive match after hyper-aggressive match. On top of that, you have fucking idiots where I'm over here picking fucking flowers because I need to make bandages, and next thing you know, you got a dude shooting you, telling you, "I don't know how to play this game. You're full of shit, dude." Number 2, the blueprint system. I saw somebody on TikTok, if I remember his name, and if I'm able to find the TikTok, I'll pin it down below. But he was talking about the blueprint system, kind of like how I talk about the blueprint system for Rocket League. And that is, well, you might get X amount of blueprints that you already have. Well, what do you do with them? You sell them for 5,000 coin, or you trade them to your friends? And don't get me wrong, I have found so many Wolfpack, Trigger Nades, freaking Aphelion blueprints where, like, I could take those blueprints and just give them to my friends, but it doesn't help me in the situation that I'm in. So the man on TikTok was talking about how he wishes there was another shopkeep. And I completely agree. There are a bunch of fucking scalpers over there at the shopkeep. But it'd be nice to have a blueprint shopkeep where you could take these rare and exotic blueprints, or just blueprints in general, and be able to trade in 5 blueprints and get another blueprint. And keep some of the more exotic weapons like the Bobcat, the Aphelion, fill in the blank, to only in-game drops where you can find them. But have an ability to fill out the rest of your blueprints and only keep a handful that are exclusive drops in the, in the raids when you're topside. I completely agree with that, instead of having 10, 15 blueprints taking up your damn inventory. This guy's a fucking idiot. Arc Raiders is a problem. It's too set in its ways. I only say he's an idiot because I feel like he's right in some aspects, which is there's arcs that are found in certain areas of the map, right? You can have no two-way matches about plenty of online games, and in its statement that it's certainly true for arc raiders encounter other players, and not knowing whether they'll be friendly or not, getting lucky with your loot hauls and hightailing it to an extraction point, or coming up short with just junk to recycle and being spotted by arc enemies, or successfully avoiding them as you sneak around undetected. Just 3 ways of 2025's best shooter, right? This is part of the reason why the game has been successful, because while it has plenty of other strengths, crisp shooting mechanics, I disagree with that. Phenomenal in audio design, incredible tension and atmosphere, I agree with those 3. Nothing beats that the core gameplay loop where you can, in theory, encounter anything. Problem is the only theory, because when you're almost 100 hours into the game, guilty as charged, and you've trapezed the landscape of damn battleground spaceport, and so many times it becomes clear there are numerous ways the game could be so much more dynamic. This is where I'm calling the guy a fucking idiot. So, for one, the tougher arc enemies, your bombardiers, rocketeers, leapers, and so on, are typically spawned in the same places on the map. Yeah, because they're usually spawned around POIs. Like, places of interest, if you guys don't know. So, in a realistic situation, if you're dealing with an intelligent being, they're of course going to put their larger forces around points of interest. If you frequent Buried City, and you'll no doubt have seen the Rocketeer that circles around the grandiose apartments countless times. The same goes for Leapers in Spaceport, wandering around the basement of the launch tower. POIs. It only makes sense. Once you know where the arc enemies are going, it's fair and it's far easier to avoid them. I doubt making the game more unforgiving if the spawns were more random, which I completely agree with. They could be. But it goes back into this could potentially be like a real world scenario, right? Because I could go to fill in the blank, and guess what? Freaking, I'm not going to find a kangaroo outside my apartment here in North Carolina. I mean, it's a possibility, but the spawn rates are significantly lower, almost zero. Where if you go to, Australia, the spawn rates for kangaroos are significantly higher. But all seriousness, it makes sense for arc enemies to have bigger enemies around POIs, to have smaller enemies on the outside patrolling like they do with the wasps, like they do with the hornets, and then having, snitches planted all around the map. So his argument for this, and writing an entire article, is null and void in my opinion, because it doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes sense what he's trying to say, but it's fucking stupid. In my opinion, and somebody that has played games for over 30 years, has a lot of time and tactical experience in stuff like this, you protect your POIs, protect like high value assets and stuff like that. That's where you're going to put your forces. You're not going to put your forces around a fucking apartment complex on the north side of Dam, because there ain't shit there, unless you want a comfy pillow. But do I agree with what this guy's saying? Absolutely not. So my biggest gripes of Arc Raiders so far, 80 hours in, is aggression-based matchmaking by the devs confirms. Bullshit. It's total fucking bullshit. There's no fucking way. I run around and fucking pick flowers and help other raiders with Arc as I run around the map. I wish there was something they could do with the blueprint system, like introducing a blueprint marketeer where we could trade in blueprints, get other blueprints, but keep some exclusive to going topside. And number 3, sometimes people that write articles don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And, I have no problems with how the Arc protect the topside. I have no problems with how the Arc are set up. I think it's a very well thought out game. So let's go full screen. Those are my 3 topics of conversation today for Arc Raiders. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to mash that like button. Subscribe. Every little bit helps out the channel immensely. You guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. But until next time, I will see you guys later.